Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. All persons having anything to do before the Honorable Christopher Muse, Justice of the Superior Court, now sitting in Boston with the Innisfree County of Suffolk. Draw near, give your attendance, and you shall be heard. God save the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and this honorable court. This court is now open. Please be seated.
Before the court is the matter of Commonwealth versus Shaun on indictment 15-10325. The defendant is present and represented by attorney Bruce Carroll. The Commonwealth is represented by Assistant District Attorney David Bradley and Assistant District Attorney Kevin McCarthy.
Judge, good morning. Before we proceed, once again, I must inquire whether any of you have seen or heard about this case from any source outside of this courtroom. Have you talked about this case with anyone, including among yourselves, electronically or otherwise? Have you conducted any investigation or research into any fact or circumstance of the case? Because there are no affirmative response to that time, the jury remains indifferent and shall continue with the examination of yesterday's witness, Mr. Perez, correct?
Yes, sir.
And while we're awaiting his arrival, jurors, I asked the court officer to indicate to you that we will be taking a review. So as soon as this witness is finished, we will suspend the testimony in the courtroom, and I will give you some preparatory remarks about you, and I'll allow lawyers to speak to however briefly about it. All right? Please proceed.
Good morning, Mr. Perez.
Good morning.
Yes, we identify the witness.
Sir, would you reintroduce yourself to the jury and the court?
My name is Kevin Perez.
And you were with the students on the stand yesterday, but after court, we took the recess for the day?
Correct.
And I understand you're still here.
Correct.
Mr. Perez, yesterday I was asking some questions about your testimony regarding Mr. Harrison asking you to shoot Louis Rodriguez, correct?
Correct.
And that conversation with Reverend Harrison took place on the same day as the fight, is that correct?
I do not remember, sir. But
I'm sorry?
I don't remember.
Well, prior to the day of the fight, do you remember how many times you met with Mr. Harrison?
Prior to the day of the fight? Yes, sir.
Do you have a general idea of how many times you met with Mr. Harrison prior to the day of the fight?
Yes, sir.
Now, on the day of the fight, you arrived at school late, correct?
I don't remember, sir.
Do you remember having any meeting with Mr. Harrison at all on the day of the fight, before the fight?
No, sir.
You didn't meet with Shaun Harrison before the fight on March 3rd, 2015, correct?
I don't remember, sir.
And after the fight, did you meet with Shaun Harrison?
Well, yes, sir.
And what time of day was it when you met with Mr. Harrison after the fight?
That I do not remember, sir.
Did you meet him just one time after the fight?
I wouldn't be able to tell you. I don't remember, sir.
You don't remember?
No, sir.
You remember where you met with him?
Second floor?
In the hallway?
Yes, sir.
You didn't meet with him in his office?
Well, we came out of the bathroom. I was supposed to go to his office, but we didn't even reach his office.
On the day of the fight, you never went to Shaun Harrison's office?
Don't remember, sir.
I do remember at least a couple times when you were in Mr. Harrison's office, is that fair to say?
Yes, sir.
And one of those times you said you saw marijuana?
Well, when I seen the marijuana, it was when I was coming.
I'm
I was
sorry?
coming into school. I was getting checked. Because when we go into my school has like sensors and stuff. And then I seen it when he gave it to my classmate. I seen the bag. I seen what it looked like.
In his office?
You know, I was entering the school. Like this is when you enter school, they have like a sensor and stuff. You get checked. Like they check your bags. They check what you have in your bag and stuff. And when once I passed the sensor, that's when he was passing it to me.
So this was during detention? Is that what you
No, this is like entering school, like when school's time starts.
At the entrance to English High, you saw Mr. Harrison, is that right?
Correct.
And when was that?
I don't remember the exact date.
How long was it before the fight?
I don't remember. I was only 15, so I don't really remember it at all.
And you saw Mr. Harrison at the entrance to English High, is that what you said?
Correct.
And he showed you some marijuana then?
He didn't show me. Like I seen him passing it to a student.
You saw him pass it to a student?
Correct.
So you never saw him with marijuana in his office, is that right?
I did as well. It was the same.
You did that as well?
It was the same bag. It was like the same container.
Saying what?
Same container.
Well, this Tupperware container, Mr. Babbitt, in that container yesterday?
Right.
Remember this Tupperware container that you saw in Mr. Harrison's office? Is it one of the clear plastic Tupperware containers?
Yes, sir.
You were asked about that in front of the grand jury, correct?
Correct.
Was this clear Tupperware container in anything else?
Aluminum foil.
Tin foil? Anything else?
And it was in a black bag.
The black bag, okay. And he showed it to you, right?
Well, I seen him pass
In
it
his
to
desk drawer?
Excuse me?
In his desk drawer?
Right.
Okay. Who was in the office at that time with you?
Cloudy.
And you remember if this was before school, during school, or after school?
No, sir.
And at one point you said that there was a time when he showed you a knife, correct?
Correct.
Is that in his office?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember when that was in relationship with the fight?
No, sir. I know it was before the fight.
Right, okay. Do you remember how long before the fight?
No, sir.
We'd only known him for 10 days at that point, right?
After I got introduced to him, yes.
And who else was in the room? This was in his office, is that
Correct.
right?
Correct.
And who else was in the room with you and Shaun Harrison when he showed you the knife?
I think Cloudy was. I don't remember as well, but I think he was.
How about Jose Nova?
I don't remember.
And when he showed you this knife, did he do anything with it?
No, sir.
Did he pass it around to you and Lauri, and maybe Jose or anybody else?
I didn't touch it.
You didn't touch it.
No, sir.
that clearly?
Yes, sir. Correct.
And you asked a question about the record showing pulling out a knife, correct?
Correct.
You agreed to pull out a knife. You showed it to you, correct?
Correct.
And then you told you to pass it around, correct?
Yes, but I did not touch it.
You asked him to pass it around. You said yes, the knife is passed
It was passed around, but I didn't get it into my possession.
I'm sorry. Mr. Bradley asked you a question about it. It's the knife passed around. You said yes.
Correct.
So it's passed over to you and Larry and Mr. Harrison, correct?
Correct.
But you did touch it.
It was passed around, but I didn't touch it. He tried to pass it to me, passed it back to him.
You see where he got the knife from?
I imagine his drawer. I don't know where he had it in. Probably his drawer as
He pulled it
well.
out of nowhere?
Well, he pulled it from his desk.
He pulled it what?
He pulled it from his desk. I didn't know where behind the desk he had it. I don't know. I don't remember.
And after you passed it around between the three of you, what happened to the knife?
He put it away.
From wherever it came from the first time?
Correct.
So like in his desk, is that where it was?
I don't remember where he got it, where he put it at. I don't remember.
Well, he didn't leave the room at any time, did he?
No.
Do you have a coat rack in his office?
I don't remember, sir.
Do you remember telling the grand jury that he put it behind the coat rack?
No, I do not remember, sir.
You put it in?
You may.
I'll show you another piece of paper. Take a look at it. This is some page for your grand jury testimony, correct?
Why does it say outside of his house?
This is page for your one page of the transcript of the grand jury testimony, correct?
Correct.
And Mr. Bradley is making some questions to this, correct?
Correct.
This is the same page we just went through a minute ago, correct?
Correct.
Mr. Bradley asked the question, where did the knife go? And you answered, went back at him, and then he hid it behind the coat rack, correct? That's what they told the grand jury, correct? And then Mr. Bradley asked him, where was the coat rack? And you answered, outside of his house. In the main cubicle area, and you said, yes, sir. Didn't you?
I never went to his house.
In the main, is that what it says?
He said outside of his house, but I never went to his house. I don't remember saying that.
So maybe Mr. Bradley misspoke, or maybe you misspoke. And then Mr. Bradley asked him in the main cubicle area, and you said yes, correct?
Correct.
then let's not do it again. Very little bit.
And the grand jury had 2 occasions to discuss when you say Mr. Harrison told you he was going to shoot Lewis, correct?
Correct.
Those 2 occasions, during the presentation to the grand jury, you never mentioned anything about Mr. Harrison asking you to shoot Lewis, did you?
No. What, the first time?
The answer is no, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Any regret?
You were asked about marijuana in Mr. Harrison's office on and what did Mr. Harrison's office smell like?
It smelled like marijuana.
So, did he have anything in his office to cover up the smell of marijuana?
Well, there was an office next to it, and I know there's no window there, so he probably sprayed something. There was an office next to it, there was like a lady that worked there, so he probably sprayed something, I don't know, because I know the smell bothered her, but I know they talked about it before.
You remember testifying in the grand jury about cologne?
Correct.
What do you remember about that?
I think it was like a polo, like a Ralph Lauren type of cologne.
Prior to the fight between Laudy and Lewis, Mr. Harrison told you that the fight was correct?
Correct.
And he also, when you told him no, you wanted to do that.
Correct.
You told him you were leaving, stripping.
What did you tell Mr. Harrison after he asked you to fight Lewis?
I don't remember, sure. I didn't know I didn't comply to doing it.
After the fight with Lewis, you had a conversation. Did you have a conversation with Mr. Harrison?
Yes.
And that conversation was in his office.
Well, I was supposed to go to his office. I never got to reach his office.
What's the purpose of this?
I don't know, I'll let it develop.
He hasn't indicated any loss of memory.
I'll let him see.
This is after the fight. Just reach yourself and start. Fresh memory.
Objection, Your Honor, and you're suggesting that was loss of memory.
I just made a ruling on the objection, allow me to have his memory refreshed, and I'll speak to it if he hasn't been refreshed.
You have a conversation with Mr. Harrison after the fight.
Yes, sir.
And where was that?
In his office.
And what was that conversation?
I don't remember the conversation. I just know that he told me to go to his office. It was like during transition, after my 3rd period class.
And that's where he said he was going to shoot Lewis up.
Objection, Your Honor.
Mr. President, please remember the witness.
During that conversation in his office, what did he tell you?
An ongoing objection, is you standing? We'll see.
So, after the fight, and after this transition, then when he told me to go to his office, He waited there. There was other students there. Well, I don't remember who the students were. I just know that it was like a different group of students. And then he told me, well, we went into his office because he came back. He wasn't in his office. We was waiting for him. And he told me that, well, after the fight, it ain't go how it was supposed to. So that's when he said that he was going to shoot him.
And where did he say he was going to shoot him?
He, like with the police or
Just to you, where did he say he was going to shoot him?
in the head? Correct.
Answer some questions about having a meeting in Mr. Harrison's office after the fight. How did it was correct?
Correct.
And you indicated on my questions, you're supposed to meet in his office, but you never did, correct?
Correct.
You indicated anybody that time that you didn't remember.
Well, I didn't remember.
You said you never met with him in his office that day, correct?
Correct.
And you said there were a number of other students there?
Yeah, there was other students there. I don't remember what was
Where
there.
were these other students?
Well, by his office, there's a hallway. They were just standing there
They were just standing there.
because it was after third period, which was a
Shaun
campus.
Harrison was talking to them.
I don't know if he was talking to them. He just told me to wait in his office.
And he went into his office.
Correct.
Who else was present in the office?
I don't remember, sir.
Do you remember telling the grand jury that Jose and Javi were there? They shook their heads, I don't know.
Yes, sir.
So page 21 and 22 of your grand jury testimony. Bottom of page 20. Mr. Bradley asked him questions. You said, you wait for him in his office. Mr. Bradley then says, what did you do? Did you do that? And he said, yes, there were other students there in his office.
No, not in his office.
Asked you, who else was there, correct?
But
And you said Lavi and Jose. Right. So Lavi and Jose, according to your testimony in front of the grand jury, was
Besides
that
them.
same group of students, is that right?
no, there was like a different group of students. I'm waiting outside of his office in the hallway. Logging and them were already in there.
So when you said a minute ago that you didn't remember if anybody else was in the office.
I didn't remember. I just seen the paper, so I know that I said that.
But now your testimony is that Lavi and Jose were there?
Correct.
And that was Jose Nova?
Correct.
And that was the conversation where you say that Shaun Harrison told you he was going to shoot Lewis?
Correct.
Was that the same conversation where he asked you to shoot Lewis?
I don't remember if that was the same.
Well, when
conversation.
did he ask you to shoot Lewis?
It was during.
When did he ask you to shoot Lewis?
It was during that.
That meeting?
Yes, sir.
And Laudy and Jose Nova were present for that?
For that meeting, yes, sir.
And when Shaun Harrison asked you to shoot Lewis?
Yes, sir.
And Laudy and Jose Nova were present when Shaun Harrison asked Laudy to shoot Lewis?
Was Laudy and Jose Nova present when he asked Laudy to shoot?
Well, you testified that Shaun Harrison asked Laudy to shoot
We were both there.
Lewis, right? And you were present when that happened?
Yes, sir.
And so was Mr. Jose Nova?
Yes, sir.
In response to Mr. Bradley's questions just now, he asked you, what did Shaun Harrison tell you he was going to do, correct?
Correct.
And you said that he told you that he was going to shoot Lewis in the head, correct?
Correct.
Now, the 2 times that you were asked about what Mr. Harrison said during that meeting, you never mentioned anything about Mr. Harrison saying he was going to shoot Lewis in the head, did you?
No, sir.
Thank you.
You're excused. Thank you very much. May I see counsel at sidebar, please? Will you bring a map of the graph of the view? Jurors, in a few moments, we are going to be taking a view. We'll be taking you outside of the courthouse, and we're going to be driving in a bus to several areas in the city of Boston that you may have become familiar with during the course of this trial. Now, the purpose of the view is to help you better understand the evidence that you have heard and will continue to hear during the course of the trial, so that you can appreciate the location and the surroundings. The view that you will be taking in this place will be for several streets. I'm probably not going to get all of them, but they will be areas such as Pompey Street, Allerton Street, Magazine Street, and there will be some destinations such as the Sunoco station and possibly at McDonald's. And while we are going on the view, the attorneys and I will be there with you. The attorneys may point out certain locations to you, but there will be no discussion about them. They will have the opportunity to simply ask you to please look to the left or look to the right or look forward and see some area, and they will generally designate what that area is. While you are on the view, you're not to take any notes or sketches. You are not to conduct any independent investigation while we are there, and of course not at any other time during the course of the trial. You are not to return to any of the scenes that we visit. Your responsibility on the view is to see the places, to observe them carefully, and to try to remember what you saw. You will be there under the supervision of our court officers, as I indicated to you, with the attorney, with the court reporter, and myself. And you will remain together as we proceed, either outside of the bus, if it's available and not cumbersome or weather not permitting, and if you need any kind of assistance during any time that we're away, please just indicate to the court officer and it will be provided. Now, before I depart, would the attorneys like to give a very brief opening on the view, or is that something that has been already embraced adequately by me?
Just very briefly.
Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, as the judge said, for a few minutes we're going to be taking a tour of a particular area. The things that I've been pointing out are just vantage points and video cameras and the general scene over here, so just keep that in mind. Thank you very much.
Mr. Carroll?
Thank you, Your Honor. All I'm going to ask you to do is to pay attention and look closely and absorb what you see. Thank you.
Okay. Court officers, jurors now.
All rise.
When do you propose to have Mr. Lowry testify?
Probably tomorrow, Your Honor.
I'll address that issue later.
I just want you to know that we did indicate to Mr. Sack that the immunity's been granted, but Mr. Sack wants to be present before the immunity's granted. So
Well, I don't know.
that out.
Well, not working out. I'm not certain that I did anything wrong. I think what you have to do is comply with all the statutory provisions of it. It was a determination of the Fifth Amendment privilege.
Yes.
I don't think there's anything more towards it, so long
And
as...
I'm just
Well, I'm just-
communicating Mr.
well,
Sack's objection.
see, well, Mr. Sachs certainly entitled to be here with his client,
Yes.
and I'll hear from him about anything that's relevant, but why don't you anticipate whether or not there was anything other more should have been done? terms of assuring him his rights that are granted under a grant of immunity. So I'm at a loss to it, but that's it.
No, I'm just relaying information. I'm not taking a position one way or the
Mr.
other.
Shaun called me and said he's coming in when he's
Well,
finished.
we've had everybody telling me he's going to be here. Be like waiting for the next man. See you all downstairs. You know how to get there?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we can go right away.
I have to get my stuff on the 10th floor.
Okay, go to the 10th floor.
I have to go retrieve stuff. I need
Go
to-
there because the weather is not that good.
I know that. I'm doing the best I can. I'll be seeing them in as fast as humanly possible. Your Honor?
Dave.
Come on, sir.